Holy shoes! I forgot how hot it is up here. Let's jump in. Whew, let's go. So as many of you might know if you're following my channel, I used to costume quite a bit, especially for a local community theater. And because of that, I have so many weird things in my closet. Because I, by nature, am a little bit of a hoarder, and I always thought, you know, well, the next show I work on, I'll need this. And because Arena Fair Theater was something I was so plugged into, I just never considered, like, I might not be involved in it in the future. But then I went to college and all of my time got eaten up, and now I just have a giant pile of costumes that I never use and should probably just give to Greg. Greg will use them. I will not use them. I will occasionally lay them all out, rub them with my hands, and laugh maniacally. So this is kind of going to be a closet destash video, but it's going to be kind of weird. This right here, I am going to keep... I don't know. This is entirely synthetic materials, but like I do occasionally wear it with my Lolita jacket, but also I really want an excuse to remake a skirt like this, and I know that Greg needs crinolines quite often, so they will definitely get use out of this, and I will not. So this is gonna get chucked right downstairs. These are these are very bad 1776 pants from the show 1776. So these silky beauties, these are gonna go to Greg, because if he ever does another show set in that era or anything like that, he might need some pants. This is such a weird dress. I can't imagine it being used for literally anything. It's like, here, this one I'm actually gonna put on for you. Whew. Need to rotate the camera and back up just to give you a full view of this. Here, let me stand on this Rubbermaid tub. This is maybe a bad plan. I don't even know what to say about this. I don't think I'm gonna give it to Greg because I can't imagine what this would be used for. Also, this is attached. I'm gonna hold on to this and see if I can't make something entirely new out of this previously existing monstrous fabric. Oh, this dress is exciting. This is my mom's. It is the first gift that my dad ever purchased. So this dress right here is actually the first gift that my dad ever purchased for my mom. And I'm just gonna get up close so you can see it. It came from the store that's not even there anymore called, what was it called? Lazarus. This came from Lazarus back when that was a thing. These two skirts are, like, they have elastic waistbands, so they fit just about everyone. And honestly, as non-accurate as they are for most periods, they work for murder mystery parties. So these I'm gonna hold on to because they're practical. This right here is something that I purchased from Goodwill, and I love it. It's a black velvet dress, and it's off the shoulders, and it comes to like just above my ankle. It is like one of my favorite dresses ever. So that I'm keeping. So that is all of the costume pieces that I had hanging up in that closet. Since the lighting in here is so bad and it is so hot up here, I am gonna grab all of the bins of everything and go downstairs where I'll actually be able to like breathe and not sweat like a pig. This is turning into an accidental house tour. So, let's see what we've got in this bin. We have an old cheer bow. I will probably just put this in like my sentimental cheerleading items bucket because it's like, this was my first year and I still have my little stars on it. But yeah, that's gonna stay with me. Oh hey, this is where that went. This is leather strapping that you use for like shoes and stuff. I did not know that that's where that went. I'm gonna keep this vintage hat just because I like it a lot. It's really cute. Oh my gosh! It's really cute and it's really fragile, so I should not drop it. This I'm keeping. I'm not gonna put it on my head because I've been sweating and I very infrequently wear it. It has been through the ringer. Like, you can look at it and tell that like things have fallen off of it. It's not in the prime of its life, but that kind of makes me more comfortable wearing it because that means that I haven't been ruining it necessarily. This is another vintage hat that has like a nice velvet trim here, and it's just very nice and interesting. And this I'm also going to keep because it's a vintage 1920s hat and I love it. This one I'm also keeping. I have not worn this once, but it's just so gorgeous. I can't not hold on to it. This bonnet I am not going to hold on to because I foresee Greg having a use for it way sooner than I foresee myself having use for it. I'm also not going to put it on because, like I said, sweaty. These are vintage, well, these aren't vintage, these are reproduction cloche hats that need a good ironing, but these are just like nice bucket hats like women would have worn in the 1920s. And these are really cute. You just kind of, ooh, ah, and they're cute. I can see Greg having a use for these, and they haven't been decorated, so they can be decorated however he would see fit. They could be dyed. These are nice. These are gonna go to Greg. Let's see what else I have. It's a mermaid necklace that I made in high school for a mermaid costume. I submitted to a costume contest. I'm gonna hold on to this because it's my mermaid necklace. Why would I not hold on to it? Oh, this is a little shirt. Part of me is compelled to hold on to this just on the off chance that I hold a murder mystery party, but it's an ivory white shirt with good detailing in the front, and I could see it being so much more useful to Greg than to myself, but I think from stage that would look quite nice. So that's gonna go to Greg. Oh, these are epaulets that go on over a shirt. I made these for a Shakespeare play that was very minimalistic. So these just like, you put them on like this, and then the guy whose biceps this was made for were a lot bigger. So they just kind of went on like this, and then you had some epaulets to kind of suggest, hey, that guy's a prince. These aren't actually called epaulets. These are like Renaissance sleeves. Little after Renaissance. Shakespeare era. I am so bad at recalling things like that off the top of my head. Usually when I talk about costumes, because I work everywhere, I have to prepare like a thing ahead of time just so that I don't sound dumb. And anytime I'm just like going into buckets, I come out sounding really dumb. But this is designed to be worn with a white shirt. I think it was worn with this white shirt actually that I just gave to Greg. So this I'll definitely give to Greg just because these can be very useful sometimes. I have no clue why this random scrap of non-sewable gold fabric is in there. I purchased this shiny gold fabric for Jesus Christ Superstar because I thought, oh, I can make like little cups and things for people to wear, and then, you know, that'll look so aesthetic. But then the only way to sew that fabric, because machines do not like it, is to hand sew it with your hands, and that just doesn't work for theater. Well, I have a lot of this stuff laying around that will never get used. Oh god, where are the Chipotle burrito dresses? Oh, here it is! The demon tutu! We'll see. Oh, this I'm keeping. This is a decorative corset, not a functional corset at all, but was also in that same piece. It went like this, and it is just so cute, and I love it. I use these because I had a trio of dancers in the whole mix, and I wanted them to be unified, so I made them all a corset like this. And their dresses were really loose fitting, so this helps them, you know, not just be swimming in it. And it added to the look. It was a really good aesthetic. This might be a little lopsided now that I'm looking at it, but it went on just fine. I'm actually gonna keep this. This is also a decorative, not a corset. It's more like a drindle. It's really easy to let out and take back in. I've used it in multiple shows whenever we have like a Germanic peasant that needs to look generic Germanic peasant-y. Yeah, this thing has been on stage multiple times. I think I'm gonna give this to Greg because he will get a lot more use out of it than I will, and I think I need to let this vaguely embarrassing piece of costuming go, just because, I don't know. This is really indicative of what I could do in high school and in middle school. That was really impressive, but like, I look at it today and I'm like, that's not super impressive, you know? Like, if I were to redo this, I would do it a lot better. So if I hold on to it, I'm just gonna be like, ew, what is this? But if I give it to Greg, it's actually gonna serve a purpose. Ooh, fluffy white pirate shirt. Oh, this needs to go to Greg. He's gonna get so much use out of this, and I actually want to make myself a chemise very similar to this, so this is gonna go to Greg. This I'm actually oddly torn on. It's not quite Regency, but I have a Regency murder mystery party coming up soon, and this is in that silhouette, so I'm gonna hold on to it just for that. You know, I kind of hate this skirt. It's high-low, and it's good for making peasant outfits, so I'm just gonna give it to Greg. You put this on with like an ivory top and a waistlet, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of like agrarian Germany, at least well enough for a musical, you know? A community theater musical, mind you. Oh, these pants. These pants, they sure do exist. These can go to Greg. This is a metal sash. This was also used for that small Shakespeare troupe that I used to costume, and it was, again, just to kind of suggest, like, hey, this person is a soldier. Here's their soldier sash, and it just kind of goes on like this, and it's a nice time. I wish I would have thought of this for Jesus Christ Superstar. And it has this nice little pleat here to kind of keep it centered on their shoulder, and then it's tapered at an angle here. Yeah, it is very nice. I'm gonna give that to Greg, because I foresee him finding use out of that. Oh hey! It's one of the bracelets that I made that I had to hand sew. These are fun. I used to wear them in the pool because it's like swimwear fabric. You can just slide it right on. And it looks like a metal armband. Yeah! Wonder Woman! Well, that's this whole bag. This is a futuristic agrarian peasant dress that was worn with the this was worn with the waistlet that I made, the leather one. I don't foresee needing sci-fi agrarian peasant garb anytime soon. And this was literally made out of an old sheet. I will give it to Greg. If he doesn't want it, he can donate it to Goodwill. It took me like a half hour to make, if that. It literally has a jelly stain on it. I hope that's jelly at least. It could be blood. Kind of an interesting one. This I draped quite a bit so that it had like these pieces permanently. And it has like some weird pickups and stuff. And then I put like this little gold belt on with it. It was supposed to look kind of Athena-esque. I put it on this woman who actually wound up being my big sister, my sorority. She does a lot of dance. Oh, this is Inside Out. She does a lot of dance, and she happened to be in one of my pieces, and that was awesome. And then I found out she was my big sister, and that was awesome. But yeah, it just has this nice like starburst, and it has these little pickups. It was really fast to make, mostly because I didn't finish the hem, because I wanted a nice unraveled look at the bottom. This I actually might hold on to, because I spent a ton of time on it, and maybe I'll need another potato sack dress that's actually really cute in the future. Who knows? I probably should get rid of this and give it to Greg, but I really like it. And it's kind of like a silly piece of costume that I don't think he would have a real use for. So I'm just gonna make all of the excuses I can until I feel justified in keeping it. I found the other bin. This is a shawl. It is actually, this came from Melody Long. She no longer wanted it, and it wound up in my possession. We used it a little bit in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I believe. I might get demonetized for saying chitty so often. It's a CH, I swear. So this can go to Greg, because I don't foresee ever needing a samba outfit that is oddly Germanic and purple ever again. A half-constructed pair of black bloomers. Perfect. I will either finish those or toss the fabric as much as I hate. Ooh, this was from Jesus Christ Superstar. This is what the Devilettes wore. I cut out 2 of them to be fabric, because this is basically just fabric with a head hole cut into it, and then 2 little armholes that are... A lot of the clothes for Jesus Christ Superstar that we made intending to take them apart so that they could be fabric afterwards. Because we went with a historic Jerusalem costuming instead of going 70s. But it looked really cool when they wore these because they flowed like little wings. I'll see if I can find some footage of that and splice it in. How do I get back out of this? I'm stuck now. Now I know why the Devilette ladies complained about these so much. They are so hard to get out of. Oh goodness, I need help. Ha! This is also from Jesus Christ Superstar. This is mostly safety, or super glued together. This was like the collar that the Egyptians wore. You can go to Greg. I don't predict ever using it again. This is a jabot for a very, very large man. It's just a nice frilly neck piece. He was huge though, so this like, it worked. I was originally gonna make panties out of this fabric, but then I made a terrible jabot instead. For 1776! It still has makeup stains on it. This can go to Greg, for sure. I don't remember... Oh! The king wore these in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. These were his, like, dressing pants, his, like, pajama pants, because there's a scene where he's in his pajamas and it's supposed to be hilarious. So I made big black satin bloomers with little ruffles at the bottom and a white bow in the center. Those can go to Greg. I remember at one point taking on the project of deciding that I was going to make a whole bunch of bloomers because we did so many shows that were historic. This is a half-constructed skirt piece. I just realized I held it up in front of you entirely, or in front of myself entirely. Yeah, this is a half-constructed skirt piece, and I will hold on to that and possibly finish it, like, for Halloween or something. This is actually quite cute. I should give it to Greg. I remember these bloomers! These can also go to Greg. Because these are made out of tricot, they'll be much better for historic wear meant to be danced in than historic wear meant to be, like, shown off. More epaulets! These will also go to Greg. Oh hey, it's my garter belt. The first one that I ever made from when I first started wearing stockings and really needed a garter belt. Wow. Wow. Okay. So I feel kind of awkward donating a piece of what is technically lingerie, but like there's enough bloomers and things in there. He's in theater. He might need a garter belt at some point. I mean, not him personally, but like one of his actors might need a garter belt. Another Frilly Piratey shirt. This is also going to go to Greg because I know for a fact he will find use for it. These shirts are super useful and you can never have too many. There was a thrift store that was going out of business when we were costuming one of the shows that we did, and they had shirts like this for $1 each. And that's why I have so many now. And realistically, those should be with someone that will use them. This vest goes with the pants. They should be together. They should be together, and they should be with Greg. They've been used for magicians and like soothsayers. Like I've actually used those costume pieces quite a bit, believe it or not. Again, community theater, you have no budget, you work with what you've got, and that's not a terrible piece to have. Haha! This skirt was actually manufactured by a Mennonite athletic wear company. It is so big, and it makes this nice sound when you run in it that is just so dramatic, and I love it. But sometimes it's not good for a mic'd character because the mic actually picks up the noise. Should I hold on to this for murder mystery parties? This I'm gonna give to Greg. Just because it is such a nice dramatic skirt, and it really makes every scene that it's in. Well, it doesn't make the scene, but like, if you put an extra in a nice skirt like that. This is a brown skirt. This can go to Greg. This one can go to Greg. It's vaguely steampunk, but it has more value as a historic piece of costume for a background character. Some short brown leggings with cuffs. Those are good bloomers to use with that brown skirt because you don't really see the actor's legs as much because it matches the skirt, so those will go to Greg. This is a black skirt. I think this is a slip. I'm gonna give it to Greg. Worst case scenario, it winds up being some fabric. It's kind of stretchy and it's got an athletic feel to it, so that'll be a good thing for them to have. This is a shirt that I put on a peasant child. Yeah, this was a peasant child shirt in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I think?
Either that or Jesus Christ Superstar. I don't remember. It had to have been Chitty Chitty Bang Bangs for Jesus Christ Superstar. I don't think there were children in that show. None of this is actually important. This is going to Greg.
This is a red velvet top. I'm sure Greg will find a use for that. He's very good at finding uses for things. And then, boom, now you're Jesus. This can definitely go to Greg. I don't foresee needing to be Jesus Christ anytime soon. This can go to Greg. I don't know what it would be used for. I've used it to make old lady characters before because it's a nice shawl, but you can still dance in it, and sometimes old ladies do need to dance. We walked in the parade to promote Brigadoon, and I had this this plaid skirt that was like mine that I wore. And my friend Monty, we didn't have his kilts in yet for the show, so to walk in the parade to support the show, he wore this skirt. And as we were doing our choreography down the street, it would flick up every time he turned, and we would see his little buns. Yep, here it is. Here it is. the Chipotle burrito dresses. This fabric wouldn't sew. I had a pattern all picked out. They were gonna look so cute. It was gonna be a nice little halter. It was gonna have like seam lines and be fitted and nice, but then it wouldn't sew on the machine, so I just had to put 2 little side seams in and make a tube because that was all we had time for. My mom was actually the one that sewed most of these because I didn't actually have the time to sit down and hand sew them, so she bit the bullet and did it for me, and oh my gosh, thank you so much, Mom, because I wouldn't have had time to do any of the other things I had to do for Jesus Christ Superstar otherwise. Oh hey, silk scarf. Oh, this is cute. Does this look good from stage? Yeah, this looks good from stage. This should go to Greg, even though it is a silk scarf, and I like it. It's going to Greg. It's going to Greg, where it will serve a purpose. Oh hey! These are neat. It's a little cuff that you put on, so that then your whole outfit has a cuff and you don't have to wear another layer. And then your character looks like they're wearing like all of these historically accurate layers, but they're not actually dying. Yeah, these are cool. Oh, there's one bag left. Oh hey! And one of these tops. Ah, yes. Oh man, everything in this bag is so embarrassing and like half constructed. Sometimes I would have like a meeting and they'd be like, we want this, and then I'd go home and I'd have it sewn halfway and then I'd put it on the actor and it would be exactly what they said they wanted in the previous meeting, and then they'd be like, nope, that's terrible, and usually they were right. But I still have a lot of those things. Aww, little tea shop shirt. This can go to Greg. That can go to Greg. We're not even going to talk about that, but it can go to Greg. This massive lump of lavender fabric could definitely go to Greg. There's a whole box of these fully adjustable bodices that can fit anyone of any size, which is horrifying, and that shouldn't be a thing that happens or is possible, but hey, there you are. You do what you gotta do sometimes. The only thing left to go through that is not a box that I know only has the fully adjustable ball gowns, which are for sure going to Greg, is this bag. It has this crappy underbust waistcoat. Not waistcoat, but like, it's kind of like a corset, but it's not. It looks a little like a drindle. It was for a show. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's really bad. Ooh, the cameo fell out of this. I bet I could replace that cameo and put a very nice necklace, actually. I'm gonna keep this. I'm sorry, Greg. A single black glove. Wait, I feel like I've had this glove and been looking for the match for a very long time. But I don't know where in the heck the match would even be. I guess I'll hold on to it and see if I find the match. I found the other cuff! Wait, now where'd the first one go? Oh, here it is. Whew, I thought I just lost the other one. There. Am I a dandy yet? Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I gave you some inspiration to go through all of your stuff that you've been hoarding for so long and try to give it to someone who will use it. I also hope that I've inspired you, because we all had a beginning in whatever we're interested in. And you know, who I am now and the skill level that I'm at now, A lot of this stuff is irrecognizable. There's a lot of methods that I just wouldn't use again. And that's fine. Growth is good. Growth is good. Growth is good, and I'm gonna try really, really hard not to be super embarrassed by all of this. You know, these are cute as hell. I might keep them. Nah, I should give them to Greg.
Hold him, Joe, but don't let him go. Hold him, Joe, hold him, Joe, hold him, Joe, but don't let him go. The donkey want water, the donkey want candy. He see Mr. Andy, he feel a little dandy. The donkey want rum, you better give him some. On the beach, in the sand, the people call me Sponge Man. All I know, me donkey ain't bad because he come from Trinidad. The donkey want water, the donkey want candy. He see Mr. Andy, the donkey want whiskey. He feel a little frisky. My old donkey went caught one day with a donkey named Melda across the way. She was twice his age. He pick up a fight. Now he's crying every night. Oh, let me go, darling Melda. You're breaking me backbone. Let me go, darling Melda. You're breaking me backbone. Hold him, Joe. Hold him, Joe. Hold him, Joe. But don't let him go. Hold him, Joe.